Hello. We'll go ahead and get started. So I do have some quick announcements real quick before we jump into this week's astrology. So please like and follow the Witch's Tea Flint on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube, and check out our Etsy page, favorite, so you can see new products that come up. And also please check out the witchesteaflint.com and check out our website. And we're also on TikTok, and there's a lot of fun things going on right now. We're having a lot of interesting and fun stuff going on, so please follow so you'll be in the loop. The first things first is, we have the Spilling the Tea talk every Saturday night. It goes live on Spreaker and on our Facebook page and also on YouTube. And they are amazing. It is a really good series. Hi, Lori. So please check them out. And then Devana is also doing the Witch Walk. So with the Witch Walk, it is so fun. I've been learning so much, and to be honest, I am allergic to all those things pretty much. Hi Kim from Holly. Holly is actually not that far from where I live. I'm about, I guess I shouldn't necessarily say where I am online, but I am not too far from the Holly area, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not very far at all, Kim. So it's nice to find, people in your area. Anyways, we have the Witch Walk talks that Devana is doing, and they are so fun. They're so short, and they're 2 minutes long, and they're amazing. So what they are, she's putting them on TikTok, and you could also find them, I think, on our page and on YouTube. But they're all about different plants. See, I'm very allergic to nature and flowers and weeds and everything that is outside practically. So it's interesting. I know a lot of people group in a lot of those into the weed category. So, but they're not weeds. They're plants, and they all have their own names, and they have properties, and each one is different. So I learned about I don't know exactly its name, but the Astra flower today, and I would check it out because yesterday and today actually, I've been doing a lot of gardening, and I kind of realized that I picked a lot of the stuff out that I've been learning about. So it's interesting seeing it in person, and it's nice. It's cool to learn those little things because I had no idea what any of these names were. To be 100% honest, I'm not a gardener. I don't know. You think I would be because I'm a Taurus, but it's kind of opposite. Anyways, we also have the Shaman Witch Walk, which is going to be at Kellett Park on November 7th. Sorry, I said it wrong. I wrote down the wrong thing. It is for Samhain. So it is the Samhain Witch Walk. It is going to be November 7th. And it's going to be at Kellett Park. The tickets are $15. And there's 2 time slots. There's one at 2 to 4 and then one from 4 to 6. And I know I didn't personally make it to the last Witch Walk, and oh my gosh, I've heard so much from the last Witch Walk that I really wish that I had gone, and I will be at the next one, and I'm just really looking forward to learning a lot. There was a lot of learning. There's just so much knowledge, and even just like getting out in nature is like very good for you, which I also really haven't been doing, but get out in nature, okay? So we'll go ahead and get started with the astrology for this week. So I'm going to start with the moon sign. So if you're just tuning in and seeing me for the first time, I like to start the week off with the moon sign because it sets the tone for the week, because we start the week on Monday. So Monday is moon day, and the moon is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. It will change later in the day, like in the afternoon around like 3 p.m. to Pisces, but we are starting off with a Aquarius moon. We had Aquarius moon today. So with Aquarius moon, we can expect the unexpected. We might have different emotions like kind of come up. Sometimes we might feel like we're on a roller coaster. We might be doing things that we usually don't do. So if you are going into work tomorrow, or work from home, or even if you don't work and you're just doing stuff around the house, you might do something a little bit more unusual than you normally would. You might just do something different. Like, for example, today, as I told you, I'm not a gardener, and I was gardening. So I was, and where I live right now, someone put down a ton of lava rocks in front of my house, and lava rocks are like impossible to deal with. I don't know if you have lava rocks or anyone out there, but yeah, it was fun trying to dig up lots of lava rocks. So anyways, I know they're cute, but not practical for me at least. So that is what I was doing today in gardening, which is out of the blue for me. And that's just an example. If you want to, tomorrow you could do something more spontaneous. You can spend more time. You might catch yourself spending more time online, because Aquarius is ruled by Aquarius rules over the internet. It rules over being online and being sociable. You might tune into your favorite groups or people you like to listen to, and you might even do some broadcasting yourself, and it will be very fun. So that is what we have in store for this week. The moon kind of like, since we start the week and put so much emphasis on Monday being the first of the week, if you kind of like just follow the moon for Mondays, it will just kind of tell you what the tone is going to be. Even though we, change moons every day, but if you're tracking the moon every single day, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but you can get caught up in doing too much. I know that might sound weird, but depending if you had like something special that day, I would recommend looking up to see what the moon sign is. But it's really good practice just to start with looking at the moon sign for Monday, because Monday is moon day, and every day of the week has its own planet, but we put so much, hi Scott, we put so much emphasis on Monday. So it's really good habit into seeing what the overtone for the week is going to be, or even undertone. If there's a lot of stuff moving, the moon necessarily might not be the complete tone, but it's going to kind of set it, you know what I mean? So it's just going to be like there, it's going to be the energy that we're going to be dealing with and in sort, you know what I mean? So just a little astrology tidbit and help. Okay, so this week we have Mercury entering into the sign of Scorpio. So we're actually having Mercury enter the sign of Scorpio today. So that's what we're going to break down and talk about for today. And I'm going to talk about for all 12 signs. So when Mercury is in Scorpio, is a time where we can really dig into things. We can do a lot of research. We can look up anything that is like really bothering us. But one thing that we do have to be cautioned is getting caught up too deeply. And kind of like, you don't want to necessarily be the one like interrogating someone so much that it like pushes them away, to be honest. Because, you know, even though I enjoy lots of questions, and I know a lot of people enjoy questions, but sometimes if you ask something and then someone might just shut down completely. So this is kind of like the energy that we're going to be dealing with Mercury in Scorpio. And we can have these deep communications, and we can even have communications that are very transformative and changing for us. And we could get connected on a deeper, more emotional level. And then on Tuesday, we have Saturn going direct. So that is like a huge thing. Saturn was in retrograde. It is the cap of the personal planets. So what I mean by that is, if you look at the planets like in the line, Saturn is like the protector of all the inner planets. So all of our inner planets, including Saturn, those are our personal planets, and they have the most impact on what's going on for us. So we might have been dealing with things that are a little bit more difficult, like things are putting roadblocks up for us. You know, we have Mars in retrograde right now, so things are kind of in a little bit of a roadblock themselves. So with Saturn going direct, it's going to kind of alleviate a little bit of this stuckness, because Saturn kind of like puts this stern foot down and kind of tells us that we can't, and a lot of times we feel like we can. And just think of it like as a stern father. Like if you're like a teenager and you want to go to a party, let's say, and just like this, a typical movie scene, you know, where the teenager wants to go to a party, dad says no, so the teenager sneaks out. So with this, it's like that energy, because Mars in retrograde is wanting us to be very independent and just like go, 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 and not really thinking about the consequences. But Saturn is like putting that hard stop there and like telling us that we need to like listen, and it's to like slow down. But Saturn is going to go direct on Tuesday. So with that, if we have been practicing like restraint or like holding us back, I know, like for example, I have like Saturn natally it is in my second house, so I'm always very cautious about this, because with Saturn being in the second house, you do have to watch your finances and make sure that you're not spending too much and overspending or overindulging. It's a lot of things. But anyways, Saturn like will reward you if you work on the Saturn lesson. So wherever Saturn is right now for you, it's in the sign of Capricorn, and it's going to be moving forward again, going over a lot of Capricorn planets and moving into the sign Aquarius. So it's going to hit these planets again. It's going to teach us a lot of lessons, and we're going to grow a lot. So if you've felt any roadblocks lately, you are most likely going to overcome these come Tuesday. Okay? But anyways, I'll get into breaking down all 12 signs for this Mercury in Scorpio. One moment. Okay. So Aries, we have Mercury in Scorpio in your 8th house. So for you, Aries, you really want to get to like the bottom of something and you really cannot figure it out, and you're like trying to figure it out through dialogue and talk yourself through it. You might be going through like a really intense time, and one thing that would be very helpful for you is to talk about it. And I know like the 8th house is a very personal house. It is a house that we don't really talk about what's going on, and these are like things that you talk about with like a friend, someone who's like on a deep level or you're deeply emotionally connected with. So if you are experiencing any of these things, you can get to the deeper root of your problem. Or I don't mean it like in a bad way as in a problem, but like if there's something that's like you feel like you're being held back from, you feel like you can't like level up in a sense, like you can't grow, like you feel like you're stuck. Like let's say, I'm gonna relate this to video games. Like let's say that you are stuck on like a level of a video game and there's like a boss and you cannot figure out how to get past this boss or get past the level, and you just have to keep on restarting it. This is like the time where you can like talk to someone and maybe they're seeing something that you are not. So like for example, maybe the boss in the video game has like a weakness and you find out what that weakness is so you can like overcome it. You know, like calling for help, you know, like on like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like phoning in a friend to like help you with the clues and help you get past what is like holding you back and whatever it is. I hope this makes sense to you, because since this is a very private house, it'd make more sense to you than it does to me. So, you know, just like talking it out, even if you're not like talking about it to a person, you can be like talking to your pets about it or writing down in a journal what's bothering you. So even if you're going through a really tough time, like journaling would really help you, because you're kind of just like putting it all in to words, and the words will like help you. And another thing you have to be cautious with, Aries, is digging too deep, because there might be something where you are just like trying to dig a little bit too deep on a subject. Like maybe it is not worth it, or you think that there is something there but there really is not. So like, you know, you kind of hit you already like know the answer, you know what I mean, but you keep on digging, but you already know, so you've already solved the mystery kind of thing. Okay, so next is Taurus. So Taurus, we're having Mercury in Scorpio in your 7th house. So with Mercury in Scorpio in your 7th house, this is a time where there's a couple things where you can get deeper and more emotionally connected with your partner. You can really start to talk to them, and talk to them like in a deeper personal way, like things that are really bothering you or really irritating you, because Taurus is a sign where, you know, they are open, but they're not completely open to everyone about everything that is going on. And like talking it out and talking through it will really help you. So maybe like talking to your partner or someone that you can confide in. Oops, sorry, I keep moving the camera. someone that you can confide in, or even like, I know a lot of people say keep work at work and home at home, but you know, those lines are blurred right now because a lot of us are working at home. So you gotta find like the barrier too. So with that part, you need to make sure that if you're working from home, let's say, that you're not bringing home the drama from work. But in reverse to that, I do think if you do have a coworker that you are close to, a lot of us do have coworkers that we can like talk to and hang out with and make those connections that we can feel like we can tell them about something. Because you know, a lot of times we do have those one coworker friends that, you know, they're just your friend at work. I know that might sound very like not cool, but you know, we all have it, so I can't really call anyone out on it. You know, honestly, I have friends that are just my work friends, and you know, I could be talking about my dog all day long, or about the cat or something, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean like necessarily getting too deep with them, but if you feel like, you know, like they're your work pal, your work best friend, and you can talk to them, then talk to them. There might be a lot of changes going on at work, so it might really help you to talk with them because they'll understand the changes more than like your significant other, because they're going through those changes with you. So if you're feeling those feelings, then it is best to talk to someone who is going through them with you, because they're in it with you. You know, you're not alone, okay? That's the biggest thing. You're not alone. There are people here for you to talk to, and that you'll get through it. Like, change is hard, especially, I know, Taurus, because I am a Taurus, so I can talk about it, and we don't deal with change very well. And I know personally, for me, I talk about a lot of things. So when something's like really bothering me, I talk about it because it like lets it out. So I hope that you can also have an outlet, Taurus, to let it out, okay? So next is Gemini. So Gemini, we're having Mercury enter into your 6th house in the sign of Scorpio. So Gemini, with Mercury here, this is a time where, I know I just got done saying this for Taurus, but it's different for you because this is a time where you need to make sure what you're seeing at work is the right thing to say. I don't mean to like put it out there or scare you or anything, but you know, this is not the time for you to be stirring up any drama at work or bringing in a lot of personal stuff, because this can have a lot of negative effect, and we don't want any negative changes or things like that happening. And if you are going through a lot of change at work, it is not the time to speak up about it. It's the time to just like kind of rise above it and be the phoenix. So the other side of Scorpio is being the phoenix. So you want to rise up and be the phoenix. So maybe they have given you tasks at work that, you know, you don't really approve of, or they've taken very important tasks away from you, and it just is very challenging. So for you, it is best to keep to yourself and rise above, okay? And stay out of like any office drama, okay? So next is Cancer. So Cancer, we're going to have Mercury and Scorpio in your 5th house. So with Mercury and Scorpio in your 5th house, Cancer, this is a time where you can really get connected with a book or a pastime that you had once enjoyed. Or even better, like watching TV. So I know a lot of Cancers, and I know they really enjoy like those kinds of things, like watching TV, reading books, doing scrapbooking, doing something that you really enjoy and that you can like feel very connected to, and bringing them back in. And it will be very helpful for you, because if you're feeling like you don't have like an outlet, especially because of this Saturn going direct in your opposite sign, we are going to need that little bit of extra like getaway. We're going to need the time to ourselves and just to do something that we truly enjoy, okay? And we can always like take our hobbies to the next level. So maybe you have been very crafty lately, or you have an idea that you want to start. You can take that idea and grow it into a business, because the thing is, one thing Scorpio is about is rising to like power. So this is because Pluto is the ruler. So like rising up to the top of what you want to do with your hobby, okay? Or even like an activity, okay? Also, the 5th house rules over like our children, and that's like a time where we can like get more connected to our children. We can have deeper conversations. We could talk about the past. So maybe you have had experiences or stories that you really want to tell. I know that you do, Cancer, because Cancer is one of the most beautiful signs. I don't have favorite signs. Every sign is amazing, and I don't have least favorite signs. Each sign is uniquely beautiful. But the beautiful thing about Cancer is that Cancer remembers the past very well and is very in tune with family roots and with dealing with the past, like being emotionally connected. So like sharing with your children those family traditions, or even sharing them with a loved one, because the 5th house is also a house of our loved ones. It's more of like a love on the way I like to explain it is like high school love. Okay, I know that sounds weird, but it's the best way to describe it. But so it's like your first crush, and you're like nervous to talk to them, and you know, it's just like that feeling of like the beginning flame and the beginning spark. So like sharing them with your loved ones, like feeling a little bit more happy and more I'm gonna use the word giddy about sharing those things. And even if you've been in a relationship for a while, you can still talk to your significant other about these things. Or if you're planning on starting a new relationship or trying to get into a new one, this is a time where you could start to like shed a little bit of those things. One thing you want to avoid is that sometimes And I know that you're like this too, Cancer, but sometimes with Scorpio energy, we put our walls up and put ourselves in a little box. And you tend to do that too, because you like to go into your little Cancer shell. And just because it feels safe. And this is like a time where you can shine and get out and tell those stories, okay? Next is Leo. So Leo, we're going to have Mercury in Scorpio in your 4th house of home. So Leo, this has been a time where you've been having a lot of hard conversations when it comes to your house. Like, you are just like having all these emotions, but you just don't know how to say it. And you are like kind of like afraid to like let it out because you don't want to upset anyone or hurt anyone's feelings, but you have something on your mind that you want to say, but feel like you can't. You are like definitely putting your walls up on this one, Leo. Hold on, excuse me. Let me get a drink of water really quick. Okay, sorry about that. Taurus rules over the throat, and Tauruses, just a side note, tend to get dry throat or sore throats a lot easier than most signs, or if you have a lot of Taurus energy. Just a tidbit, but you know, I can't give any medical advice, and you know, always speak to a doctor if you're experiencing things like this. Okay, sorry I have to include this disclaimer every time, but I have to. Okay, so next with Leo is that you might like feel like you need a change when it comes to your home. Like maybe there's something that you want to change about it, but you just don't know how to go about changing it. I know that sounds very weird saying that, but maybe you want to like move possibly, or you've thought about it, or you just want to like change up your surroundings, like you have stale surroundings. So this is like a time where you could fix that, like with your stale surroundings. Like you can add in new things that you feel more emotionally connected with, or things that have been given to you, because with Scorpio energy, it is things from other people, and we can like really bring them back into our home. Oh, sorry, the cat knocked over my water. I'm really sorry about that. He gets in a really destructive mood, especially when I'm talking about Leo. His name was Merlin when we got him, or before, but his name is Cat Damon now. He likes to interrupt the streams all the time. You can probably hear him purring. But anyways, I'm really sorry there isn't anything I can do about him. I try and try and try. Okay, so back to Leo. So to fix up your stale surroundings, I'm going to tell you a little feng shui tip that will really help you. So with feng shui, if you move, I think it's 24 objects to 27 objects, it will help you break up that energy. I think it's 27, if I remember right. So if you can move that many objects, then you will feel a lot lighter, and it'll break up some of the tension and some of the energy. So I know that's like just a little tip, but you're like, oh my gosh, 27 objects. It's a lot of things to move, Leanne. Like, I'm not going to move everything in the house. But listen, if you count like just doing dishes, like, I don't know how many people live in your household, but in my household, the dishes add up really quickly, and I swear every single time I do the dishes, you know, those are the 27 objects, and it helps you like move that energy around, and it's just really good. It'll help you feel a little bit lighter. There might be some conversations that come up that feel a little bit heavy and a little bit dark too. You know, just be like open to hearing what's going on and be supportive. I know that you are already supportive, Leo, but you know, just hear out what's going on and you can help out, okay? So next is Virgo. So Virgo, we're going to have Mercury enter into your third house of communication. So with Mercury in your third house of communication, Virgo, this is actually in the house of communication. So there are some things that you're trying to figure out through your conversations with others. So you might be trying to like get to the bottom of things amongst your friend groups, amongst your organizations, people in your area, people you talk with every day. You might be feeling on edge, like you're not getting like the full story, and you kind of feel like you're going into like this Scooby-Doo mode where you're trying to like solve a mystery. But the one thing you do have to be careful about is that there might not be a mystery to solve, and you don't want to cause any extra drama. But to help, if you're having all this nerve energy, is to talk about it. We can talk on a deeper level. You're more open to just like talking to anyone about whatever is going on, and it is okay. It'll really help you out a lot. It'll help you really release a lot of energy, and you can also like write. Like writing would be very good for you at this time, and writing down like how you're feeling and how things are making you feel, so then you can create the changes that you want to make. Okay? So next is, oh wait, real quick, Virgo, one thing I want to say is if you're thinking about your like car, this is like a time where you can make changes or repairs to it. So like if your car is not running very good, it's a good time to get your car checked out. Sorry, that was just something that came to me right before. Okay, so next is Libra. So Libra, we're going to have Mercury entering into your second house. So with Mercury here in the sign of Scorpio, this is a time where we really need to be serious about our money. We need to like really look at our finances and see where we're at and what we can afford before we make any moves. We need to make sure that we are financially stable to do anything like drastic. It's okay if you need to do something drastic, but you know, look at where you're at financially first, okay? But if you need help, you know, people are there to help, and if you need to make a change within your money and within your resources, this is a time where you can make those changes and help yourself like grow more. So like right now you're feeling, you know, like the Scorpion at the very bottom and you want to rise up and be the phoenix. You want to bring in more finances. You want to create these changes for yourself, but you feel like kind of stuck in the middle. So it's a time where if you look at your finances and see where you can grow, you can, okay? This isn't like a negative placement, but you know, this is a time to get real. It's not a time to gloss over how much you do or don't have, especially when it comes to a relationship, because we want to be like honest when we're with our partners, but we also want to be honest with ourselves, because if we have been living this lie of not knowing where we're at and we're like, oh, I can do this, but you're just putting it on a bunch of credit cards. This is like a time that you need to really take a step back and think about it, okay? Like one thing is like if you buy something on a credit card and you know there's like interest on your card, and let's say you don't have enough money to pay your card, so then you get the late fees, and then or you forget and you get the late fee, and you know something that you spent that was like $20 and then you have a late fee of $30, that object now becomes like $50. That's like a lot of money. So like just knowing where you're at and what you can afford and what you can create changes for a more positive financial outcome. Okay, so next is Scorpio. So Scorpio, we're gonna have Mercury entering into your first house of self. So with Mercury in your first house of self, Scorpio, this is a time where we can actually just like get excited. We have been really working on ourselves and we've been through a lot, and now we feel like it's like time to shine, and it is your time to shine. We're almost into Scorpio season. Libra's in our 12th house. We're doing a lot of that work on the back end, and we can start to communicate what we're excited for, what we're happy about, and not feel like we have to be in this box and be afraid to like tell anyone what we want to do or where we want to rise up and things that we want to change. And also with Mercury in the first house, this is a time where we can have very deep conversations. Hi Emma. I'm so sorry I called you Sandra for a second. I didn't mean to, Emma. But hi Emma, I'm so glad that you're here. I am excited. We've already passed Leo though. We're on to Scorpio now. But you can always listen back. Anyways, back to Scorpio. This is a time where you can just really shine and be like excited. Okay, I'm glad it's okay. Again, I'm sorry. But so Scorpio, you've been doing all this work and keeping very private, and like now's the time where you can just let it out and like, you know, rock it, you know what I mean? This is also a time where we can have deeper conversations with ourselves and make any sort of changes that we want. And a good thing that we can start to do is like journaling and writing what makes us excited, what makes us upset, and how we can start to grow and get our groove back. I see this as more of you're getting your groove back than anything, Scorpio. Okay, so next is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, we're going to have Mercury entering into your 12th house. So with Mercury in your 12th house, Sagittarius. Hi, Alexa. Oh no, it's okay. We just got to Sagittarius. So you're right on time. I don't know how you did that, but you tuned in the moment I said Sagittarius. It was pretty magical, actually. I'm not gonna lie. You know, things happen in a weird way. But yes, this is a very crazy Sunday. I'll just recap one thing. Is that the moon is in Aquarius today and tomorrow. So expect the unexpected and do something out of the blue and different. So that's both for you, Emma and Alexa, because you just got here. I know we're almost done with the stream, but just do something unexpected and fun, okay? And expect the unexpected. Okay, so Sagittarius, we're going to have Mercury entering into your 12th house. So with Mercury in your 12th house, I think that you've been having very interesting dreams. Like they've been like really very talkative to you. Like you're getting a lot of messages downloaded. I'm sorry. So when I'm doing the camera, I don't necessarily look at the camera. I'm looking elsewhere. So the camera kind of goes crazy. I'm sorry. Okay. Back to Sagittarius. So your dreams have been very intense. They've been very deep. And they might have even been dreams that you've had in the past. If you can remember and recall your dreams. They might be like messages coming to you at this time. And you should really pay attention to your dreams because these messages are deep. You might not get it at first. Like, you might see something happen or a theme play out. And you're like, well, that was very interesting. And then the next night, you see something very similar or something like pointing to that dream. And you're just like, oh, I should probably go look this up in my dream book or online and see what the message is trying to tell me. This is a time where you could do that. It's also a time where we're making a lot of changes deep down and on a personal level. It's something that you're not talking about with anyone because the 12th house is a very private house. It's a house where we don't tell anyone about things that are going on in the 12th house. So I couldn't tell you what it's about, but I know you know what it's about, and I know you're working through it. And just to let you know, it'll bring you a lot of positive change, and it'll help you create the changes that you want to make and create. So a lot of it is dealing with being with internal things. And you just have been doing a lot of thinking, and whatever can help you go, like, think about it, like, even if it's journaling, meditating, it will help you through it, okay? I know that is very vague, but only you would know what it is, Sagittarius. I could not tell you what it is, okay? But listen to your dreams, do some meditations, and it'll be all good. Everything that you're working on right now will help you create the positive changes later. Okay, so next is Capricorn. So Capricorn, we're having Mercury enter into our 11th house. So with Mercury in the 11th house, Capricorn, this is a time where we can be, oh, you're welcome, Alexa. I hope that it helps. I know it's very vague, but it's just something that only you would know. But Capricorn, this is a time where you can like look at your relationships and friendships, and if there are any ties that you have been wanting to let go of. This is a time where you can release those ties. You can have those deep conversations with those friends, like on two ways. Like, there's actually multiple ways on this, but one way is you want to be careful with what you say, because when we get into Scorpio energy, there's the stinger on the end of the scorpion. So we don't want to necessarily sting everyone and burn all of our bridges, but if there's something that you need to say that's really bothering you, it's okay to say it, but say it, kill them with kindness. That's definitely a phrase about Scorpio energy, especially Mercury in Scorpio, because we don't want to use our stinger. We don't want to jab someone that we don't need to. You know what I mean? But we can cut our communication off. So I'm a Capricorn rising, and one thing I could tell you, example, is I have this 3-strike rule. 3 strikes, you're out. Depending on what it is. And I like to apply that to a lot of things. For example, I'll just use a real life example. So we have been trying to find a new home, and we had a real estate agent at first, unknown name. I'm not going to say who or anything. I have no relationship with them or know anyone who suggested them. They were just someone that came on the app when I clicked wanting to see the house. Anyways, a lot of things happened with this real estate agent, and sometimes you have to play the 3 strikes you're out rule, because if they're not communicating with you, then, and you tried that many times, sometimes you gotta put up that wall and be like, you know what, we're done here, we're moving on to the next person. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense, because it's not like I have a personal relationship or connection with this person. I just moved on because of a lot of things that were coming up like this. So I hope that makes sense. I don't mean go jab your friend or your best friend, 3 strikes you're out, best friend. But if there's if you're working with someone like that, in my example, totally go by the rule, okay? Because it's okay. I don't mean it in a negative way at all. You all know how I am, and I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. So sometimes you got to be a little cutthroat on certain things. So another thing is that we want to just make sure that we're having changes when it comes to our presence online. So maybe you haven't been taking it too seriously, but now's the time where you can start taking it more seriously, cracking down on any of the cracks. One thing, sorry I keep moving the camera. One thing I would have to say is, it's a Chinese thing. If a glass is broken or a bowl is broken, they will fill it with gold, the cracks. So picture it like that. So if you have had some cracks in your bowls, you could fill it up with, or your plate or something, fill the crack with gold and it will repair it and make it beautiful. So if you had been lacking in an area like social media or your presence online, or what you really can fully potentially do with the internet, this is a time where you can grow and fix it and add that gold to the plate, okay? Next is Aquarius. So Aquarius, we're going to have Mercury entering into your 10th house in the sign of Scorpio. So with Mercury here, this is a time where things might be not very fair when it comes to your work or career, and you want to speak up about it. But the thing is, it's not the best time right now to speak up about it because we have Mars and Aries, and it's not a time to do this. There's a lot going on, and yes, it might be unfair, but you gotta be like the phoenix and rise above, okay? You know, like the other part of the Scorpion is being like the phoenix and growing and rising above and beyond. So if you can do that, you know, hang in tight. And I know that it might be a struggle, but you can really grow. You can, you know, it shows that you can roll with the punches, even though it's something that you do not like or you might not be in favor of. There might be a lot of changes when it comes to work or career. But, you know, a lot of bosses see that if you can roll with the punches, you can roll with the company, you know what I mean? So they are more in favor in seeing you make the changes and not complain about it, okay? So one thing is to be careful of work drama during this time and try not to like get involved in it. And it is okay to speak up if you are truly that upset or if you had been holding it back for such a long time. But if things are just new and you just don't think that whatever's going on is like there's just a lot going on here. And so you just like need to see the changes and stay strong, okay? Another thing is that you can grow. Like you might even get like an opportunity to advance. Like if you're having conversations with your boss about advancement, this would be like the time to do it, okay? And lastly, I don't know if I said this already, but I feel like I did, but stay out of the work drama, okay? But if you have a coworker that you trust or that you need to vent about because of all the changes, you can do that, but try to stay out of the drama or causing any of it, and know that your coworkers are going through it too. So you're not alone, okay? So don't feel like you are. Next is Pisces. So Pisces, we're going to have Mercury entering into our 9th house. So with Mercury entering into our 9th house, Pisces, this is a time where we can really want to travel because we feel like we want to like learn a lot more and learn why and get like to the deeper point of things. So I know that sounds very vague, but maybe like you're feeling very drawn to go somewhere because you feel like you can learn like a spiritual lesson or learn about a subject more on a deeper level. So one thing about this is like maybe you feel very drawn to go back to school or like get like a higher degree, like a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, even getting like an associate's degree in something different and making a change for yourself. Because like right now I feel like you feel very stuck and you feel as if you learned a little bit more about a subject, you can like break past that barrier and help you not feel like you're like stuck. Like I just feel like you feel so stuck right now, Pisces,
And there's a lot out there to learn. You don't necessarily have to go back to school or travel. There's so much free opportunities online that will help you create the changes. And also, with the 9th house, this is a time where we can have a lot of conversations on like deeper subjects and like learn from other people. So like even if you can't travel or go to school, but maybe you can like have a connection with someone that will help teach you. You know, some of the best teachers are just sitting right next to you. You never know who someone is, or you know, it's kind of like the millionaire next door. Like, they might be this person that you know, but you don't really necessarily know them like that until you like ask questions. You know what I mean? So like getting like deeper connection with people that you associate or around can help you grow and make those changes if you're feeling stuck. And also, if you can do this, like traveling somewhere and getting away, it doesn't necessarily have to be long distance, even though the 9th house is about long distance traveling, but it's a little bit harder to do long distance traveling right now. So even like traveling to somewhere like an hour away, or just like getting away, feels like a long distance travel now, because we necessarily can't, we can travel, but you know, with everything that's going on this year, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So even like if you just can get away for like an hour, like an hour radius away, you know, I would count that as long distance. Or like visiting somewhere, just like traveling to places that you really enjoy and you feel like you can really create the changes. Okay, hold on one moment. Let's set my camera down. Sorry, I just had to get a drink of water really fast. Okay. I've been trying to be more conscious about drinking more water because I am a Taurus, and Taurus rules over the throat, and my throat gets really dry from talking a lot. So anyways, I'm going to go through the announcements real quick. This week we are starting the week off with the Aquarius moon on tomorrow. It's in Aquarius right now. Today is when Mercury went into Scorpio, and then on Tuesday we're going to have Saturn direct. And I talked about a lot of these things at the beginning of the stream, so that's why the stream's going a little bit later. We have the South Wind Witch Walk, and that's going to be at Kellett Park, November 7th, and it's $15, and it's going to be from 2 to 4 and then 4 to 6, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be goodie bags, there's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I really hope to see you guys there. I'm going to be there, and it'll be a lot of fun. And you know, it's going to be safe. We're going to be outdoors. You know, everyone's going to be practicing safety, so everything's going to be good. So there's no need to worry. And then please like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We're on TikTok, and also the Witch's Tea Flint It is our website. And follow us on Etsy too, because like sometimes new things get put up on Etsy, or we're changing a lot of things and it might get posted. So check us out there. And last two things real quick. Devonna's been putting on Spilling the Tea Talks every Saturday, and they are on Spreaker, on YouTube, they are on our Facebook page, and they are very informative and they are very good, and I highly suggest the series. And then also Devonna started the Witch Walk. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're really good. I am obsessed. They're like 2 minutes long. They're like 2-minute long videos on different plants. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm a Taurus, and even though I'm a Taurus, I do not know a lot of plants. And I've been learning so much, and I hope that you can get that same experience too. They're just 2 minutes long. You can find them on our Facebook page, and you can find them on TikTok or on YouTube. There's a lot of good things going up on YouTube. Also, real quick, a lot of my videos that I have personally made are getting put onto our YouTube page. I do have a YouTube page myself on Shining Moon Astrology, but a lot of the stuff is migrated over to the Witch's Tea Flint YouTube page, so you can find them there. And if you guys ever have anything you want to learn more about or talk about, please let us know, and we will try to talk about it or point you in the right direction for it. I know that was a lot, so I hope everyone has a good week. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you have any ideas of anything, reach out. We're all here for you. I hope that you have a good weekend, a good rest of your day, and a good night.